What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wedding, bruh. Yo, this episode was... Sorry. Anyway, so this episode was fucking awesome. I absolutely love this episode. We finally got the kicking meme. It's about damn time. I have waited so long for this day, ladies and gentlemen, for the kicking meme. And in fact, by the time this video's up, my kicking meme should probably already be up on my Twitter, and if I can, I don't know if I can because of copyright problems, I'll put my kicking meme at the end of this video if you guys want to check it out, because this one I've had in my mind for a long time, for what I did with Juki. I've just been waiting for Toonami to air on the dub and to actually upload it and do it. So yeah, now it's finally aired on the dub, I'll go edit it when I get the screenshot of the thumbnail, and I'll throw it at the end of this video for you guys to want to check that out. So yeah, man. Oh man, this episode was awesome. We also got new OPs and EDs as well, which we'll talk about those when we get there. But yeah, man. Enough of me talking. Let's just jump right into this episode. So we start this episode off. You got the guys. They're on a boat. They're just roaming around, trying to figure out how to get out of Venezia or whatever they were at. And so, and then while they're there, Rancho's of course doing the scouting with Little Bomber, making sure no one's killing. So far, so good. Everything looks good. They get over, they move around, and then they're like, okay, looks like everything's alright. Looks like everything's good. And that he says that, shouldn't we, and Giorno tells him, like, shouldn't we get out of here and, head over to get out of Venezia? He's like, the boss has a bunch of bodyguards with him, so they probably already know about it, so they probably already know that they have betrayed the Familia, and that next is probably going to happen for someone in the inside. And then, so after that little revelation, then you got fucking Sex Pistols being like, hey, fucking Mista, we're hungry, come on, feed us, And Mista's like, oh, come on, give it a rest, And he's like, hey, man, I hate to ask you, but can we stop by a restaurant and get something to eat? And Bucciarati's like, yes, I guess we can. And so they go over to this restaurant. And they're chilling, they're enjoying their eating food. No, so before that we get to the restaurant, we actually see the new OP for the series. Which, I was kind of surprised by this. It doesn't really show up a lot of new stuff. In fact, most of the now I'm not going to go here and give you guys like a 30-minute analysis on this. Say that ain't me, that's what the basement's thing. But, but the OP is most of all just like a lot of recap from what happened in the previous episodes. But they don't just like reuse the old footage like from the episode. They actually kind of reanimate it in a way. You don't use different camera angles to portray it, and it overall just looks, and the way it flows with the music and how the scenes kind of all flow together looks really, really cool. It actually reminds me a lot of the original OP, those original CGI OPs from JoJo's Part 1 through 3. Which you guys are wondering, yes, I do miss those. A part of me does low-key wish their production went back to those, because I always thought those looked really, really cool. I mean, I've enjoyed the OP since then, but, those CGI OPs always look so cool. Anyway, so, as I was saying, so it kind of reminded me of those. You saw Trish, you saw the guys. I love the way how they showed off their stands. Like, we saw their stand abilities earlier on for the first one, but these new shots they use here looked really, really cool. And we also see Trish. We see her stand, which is of course, which I'm actually kind of surprised they actually showed it. Like I'm surprised they didn't black it out for like and then showed off later on or just show Trish. Because remember, back in like Part 3 when that OP, they never showed off Zawaldo until around the end of that. Around the end when we got to see Zawaldo for the first time, and we also just saw Dio for the first time. That's when they finally showed us Dio. So I'm actually kind of surprised they just like Here's Trish's stand, and kind of just spoiled the look of it. Now, granted, we don't know what Billy has. It does look a lot similar to Emperor Crimson. So, yeah, I was kind of surprised they showed off her stand. I thought they would have either A, kept that on the OP, or B, would have like blacked it out or not shown it until later on. Either way, oh well. I thought it was cool nonetheless, and I'm definitely interested to see what her stand ability is going to be, what it is, and all that shit. So, anyway, so we get back to the episode. Everyone is having some of their meals. It looks like Mista was eating some squid. And then we get a conversation about fucking vegans. Yes, vegans. Which I found was kind of funny because remember, this was back in the 90s. This ain't like nowadays where damn near everyone's fucking vegan and everyone's doing vegan, which actually funny enough. I was watching a New Japan show not too long ago, a couple of weeks back, like last week or so. I watched the show, and and legit, when I saw and legit, you had Zack Sabre Jr. come after he attacked the Kota Ibushi and I forget the other guy's name. He's known as the Ace. But they attacked him and he's shooting this promo, he's a heel, and the dude says, shut up, I don't need a face mask, I'm vegan, I can't get sick. And I just laughed my ass off myself that way. But anyway, so Mista's asking me like, oh, do they swear up eggs and cheese as well? And Abakio tells him yes, because they come from chickens and because they come from chickens and cows. That they swear up all animal products. Cake, it's just cake and milk is in cake, they swear up that too. And then he's like, bruh, they swear up cake too? Does any of this health crap even work? Which apparently to everyone else, apparently going vegan does help. I've seen every vegan show I've seen, they always say like, oh, here's all the health benefits for it. And of course Zack Sabre Jr. said he can't get sick with this fucking virus. I had a little bit of my cake. Anyway. So after the whole thing about the vegan stuff and everyone's kind of like surprised, he actually going about bags and shoots, and that's the most amazing thing out letter. It says that they feel bad for the animals and that they only wear sneakers and like backpacks, which has changed a lot since the 90s. Because I thought because nowadays there's synthetic burgers, synthetic burgers you could say, plant-based burgers, plant out of this, Impossible Whoppers. Fake leather and shit, synthetic leather and shit. So it's a lot. So the advancement of technology and science has made it possible for vegans to enjoy a burger, so to speak. But anyway, or people who like burgers to enjoy vegan versions or whatever. Anyway, so enough to talk about fucking vegans. We see that Giorno is staying out and watching, and while everyone else is eating. And Abakio and Bucciarati tells him, hey man, fear is going to do no one. Take a seat and, enjoy some of the food. And he's like, yes, but we have to stay here. And if you see in the background, you see this guy in a white suit, kind of leaving, getting out of his seat. And he kind of bumps into Rancho. And y'all know where this is going. He bumps into Rancho. Rancho spills some of his wine, which I don't know how he's drinking. Because he's like 15 and he's out here drinking red wine. Let me look up. I'm gonna keep talking, but I'm gonna look up what the illegal age, what the legal drinking age in Italy is. Maybe it is 50. I'm not sure. But anyway, so he gets in there. So yeah, he like spills the wine on him. The dude just starts getting all pissed off because this suit was like 4 million lira or whatever, and you got this white wine stain stuck on it, which I've heard that wine is a bitch to get out of shit. So he goes over there, he's like telling Laurent, you gotta pay for this, that, and the third. And Laurent just says, fuck this guy, grabs his wine glass and uppercuts him with it before he starts kicking him. And he's like, oh, so you're an enemy. Then Mista gets involved and we got a bit of a double team going on. And then we see Abakio. Wait, hold up. Let me grab my green tea real quick. Drink some of his red wine before he jumps in on the stomping. And so after he's done, it's after a bit, they're like, wait, hold on, guys, hold on, show. And they know that this is just a regular guy. So then they're like, oh shit, it's just a regular guy. And Larancha is still losing it about the wine. He's like, oh, I can't pay for that. He's like, oh, I can't pay for that. And, I can't pay that. And, Misa's telling him like, yeah, man, that's really it. I ain't going nowhere. So, he's telling that, but he says he's going to put a button there, it'll be fine. So, and I don't know why Laurent is losing it as if he was actually going to pay for it, but anyway. So he gets, okay, I got it right here. 16 is the legal drinking age in Italy, so I guess it's cool. Barely. I'm pretty sure everyone in the show's like 15. Or at least Giorno and Laurent are. I guess they just turned 16. Anyway. So afterwards, Abakio's like, hold on, let's have him taste our food for poison. Because of course, they're poisoned. because the boss controls everything. So anyway, after that, we get over. So after that, we head over. We kind of just go on. And not Bakio. Butarati tells me, "Hey man, guys, stop. Come on, we don't got time to fool around." And so from there, we're kind of discovering what they're going to do next to find out the boss. And Bakio suggests Trish, because Trish is of course the boss's daughter. Surely she might know something about the boss. Something that could lead him on the path to figure out what his name is. And Abakio also goes on this huge speech about that we will find the boss and we will announce and that we will expose where he might. And he is screaming this too. He isn't just kind of like talking to the guys. He is like screaming out into the high heavens about this speech with conviction. I'm like, fan, didn't you just say like 5 minutes ago that y'all are on the run and the boss pretty much controls everything? Shouldn't you keep your voice down so they don't find you? I don't know, just say. But whatever the case may be, but whatever the case may be with that, they decided to go and let's ask Trish. Now, Rancho, as we know, Rancho came onto the team or came onto this mission because he felt for Trish and that he empathizes a lot with Trish because he's been through a lot. So we talk backstory about the father, about your parents kind of fucking you over. You can't really trust everyone. You kind of had built this shit hand. You've damn near gotten killed by your family. This, that, and the third. We all know that that's the case with Rancho. So Rancho isn't all that interested in that. He's like, hey man, come on. Trish, to invest into, bringing Trish in to find out the bosses, man. Come on, she's been through enough. And she's like, Butarati, have a heart. And, this, that, and the third. And so Trish comes out of the turtle. And we see her kind of like looking at her arm, which is still tied up with the Butarati's zipper. I don't know why it took me so long to think that. After that, so she comes out of the turtle and she tells them, no, this is fine, I'm okay, let's do this. And she gives them a hint of where she found about her father, about where her parents met. It was in a place called Sardinia. I wonder if that place specializes in sardines, but I digress. But that's what they met, and that he went up on an errand but never came back. And they're all going to have to be from where before he became the boss. So there's got to be some connection between Sardinia and what's going on right here with the boss. Maybe it's his hometown, maybe it's not, but we'll hopefully find something. And and then Butarati tells him, like, hey man, if you're giving this, you tell us, that means we're pausing and kill your father. And he's like, no, we will kill your father. And she's like, I don't give a fuck what you do with my father. All I care about is I want to know who the hell whose blood is running through my fucking veins. And so then Abakio looks over and it's fucking Rancho, and he's like, well man, I guess you were wrong about Trish. Seems like she's all fired up and is ready to go. And he's like, yeah, I get it. So Trish already has her determinazione. Since I kind of went on, and he's doing this while he's like swirling around like the spoon through his soup. He's like, well, I kind of joined this team in a win. I'm going in with more. What was this word? With more. Fuck. Shit. I can't think of the word. But more suspicion than hope or whatever. Oh, whatever. You guys know what I mean. So, as he's swirling the spoon around, this is when shit gets weird. We're just like, bruh, like a Rocky man. I don't even know where he comes up with half of this shit. So the dude's stirring his spoon around, but then the spoon disappears, and Laurent's like, the fuck? So he's looking around trying to figure out where his spoon went, and he's looking around, but he can't find anywhere. And then he looks over at the next table, and sees that, and then he sees the spoon. He's like, okay, just grabs that one. So he grabs that spoon, and he goes all the way, and he goes back to his spoon, goes back to his soup. And then he feels something swirling around, something ding ding, and he finds out his other spoon that's been bitten off. So he goes over there, and then he goes, and then this legit fucking shark comes out and eats it, and then you just hear, Dana, 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 Dana. Like, it's not completely one-to-one the Jaws theme, but it sure as shit sounds like the Jaws theme, and you're just missing, yeah, it's like, it had the Bana, Dana, the whole thing. I could hear a bit of the Jaws theme in there, which I'm sure was done on purpose. So he goes over there, he's like, oh shit, the thing takes its time. And LeBron's like, ah! And he's trying to tell, like, Mista and the other guys what's going on. They can't hear him, or they're like, oh, is he there? Is he there? Where is he? And you see the shark kind of just teleporting from one, like, glass to the X to the next before he lands in the wine bottle and just starts going around in circles. And Laurent's just, like, pointing at it, like, trying to tell him, like, hey, he's in there. But he can't because his tongue's removed. His tongue got bitten off. And so Mista tries... And so Mista thinks he's like one, like, hey man, you want some water? Like, you point out the water, you want some? And then he goes like, and then I guess Mista, like, or not Mista, Rancho grabs some glass and just like shoves it right where his tongue is. I guess to bring attention, like, hey, my tongue is cut off, help me, you know? So, and then they notice that Jordan's like, okay, I can fix it up, I'll replace it, but it's gonna take some time. And it's like he's not even certain how he's breathing. I don't know how he's not breathing or how he wasn't breathing. Maybe did he swallow some of the glass? Like, what happened there? But anyway. Either way, he gets over there, and once he's done, and then so what Jordan does is like he takes some nice. I don't know if this is like a legit way you can actually like help someone breathe or not. But he does the thing where I'm pretty sure y'all seen this in movies as much as I have. Takes a pen, stabs it into his neck, and then opens up the top so air can go through it. So Lorenzo starts breathing again. So he fixes up his tongue. And then we find out who the stand is. And I forget the dude's name, but the dude legit dresses like fucking Cloud Strife. Funny enough how the remake comes out, like, you know, like I think it came out like a week or so before this episode aired on Toonami, or it might have been last. I think the game either came out last week or the week before that. Either way, he's out. So you know, he's there, he's telling like, my stand, Crush, will defeat the rest of them. And we see this other guy, I forget his name as well, I forget their names, I'm sorry. And their poses, you could tell this was something straight out of the manga. It looks great as a pose, but when you see it in motion, I mean, it still looks kind of cool, but when you just see them just standing in this one position as the camera's panning around, it looks kind of dumb, but it's JoJo, man. This is what you expect. It's known for its fucking ridiculous poses, you know? So we get back to Jordan, in other words, he gets his Tom back, and he's fine. He tells him, hey, there was a shark in my soup. Yo, this, that, and third. He tells him what's going on. But then he starts just, you know, saying the exact opposite of what he means. And he's like, what the fuck? Where he says, like, yo, you know, I didn't see it. Where he's like trying to tell him like how big it is. He's trying to say like it's yay big, but then he's like, oh, it's bigger than bigger. And he's and you know, they're trying to figure out what the hell he's trying to say. But the Rancho keeps saying the opposite of what he means, and keeps covering his mouth. And he's like, oh shit, and everyone's just kind of like, what's going on? So we find out what the other guy's stand's name is, Talking Mouth. I'm locating curious what their original stand name were, or what these were the original ones. Either way, I like them. So we find out that the other guy's stand name is Talking Mouth, and it's attached to his tongue. Is going to make you say the opposite of what it means. And Laurent also starts crying for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe he was in pain. But like, speaking of which, there's also this one time where Laurent just trying to say something, but then we just hear all these cracks. Like the man's trying to like break some bones, like he's trying to snap his own neck or some shit. I don't know what that was about, but it was funny. And this whole section of the episode was just hilarious when LeBron just seems like, oh, he's there, but then he points forward, but then he like points to the left, points to the sink. It was funny, but I was like, fuck me, man, I was just gonna go down. So they head over to the bathroom, or they're actually gonna go for the lagoon first, or go back into like to the lake to, you know, get out of there. But Butarati tells them that, you know, because the Boston predict our betrayal, that he probably hasn't had time to set all his gears in motion. So if we take care of this guy, we'll have a much smoother time to get out. So they're not going to leave just yet. And so then they head over to the bathroom. The Misa's breakout gun ready, and they're looking around, trying to figure out what's going on next. And he also Abakio has Moody Jazz. He's going to try to figure out a way to, you know, use the rewind function to see what the hell's going on. So he gets over by this bathroom. And that's where Moody Jazz starts to transform a little bit. But actually, right before he does, when they get into the bathroom, excuse me. Okay. Anyway, so once they get to the bathroom, Rancho rushes in there and starts turning off the sink, wiping that bitch down with some paper towel, make sure there's no liquid or anything, so the shark can come out, you know. But then his tongue kind of comes out there, turns the faucets back on, and by the way, Rancho was going at them real quick, and so the tongue opens them up, and then they go over to the toilet. So then Abaki starts, Moody Jet starts transform. Rancho legit rushes in there, launches into the bathroom, plants his leg right on the top of the seat, toilet. Plants his fucking foot right there. And he just starts pissing. He's like, hey guys, check over here. Abakio, I got a surprise for you. Check with the ball to see it. And at this point, I'm laughing my ass off because you know how Rocky be with his humor. You know how Rocky B has sometimes this humor. And JoJo being taken out of context. This is one of those scenes right here, ladies and gentlemen. And Abakio says, you are sick. Is this a new kind of fetish or something? And I'm like, to be fair, it probably is. This probably is some sort of fetish. To be fair, there is probably some sick motherfucker jerking off to this shit of the episode. And if you are that gentleman, kindly stay 500,000 feet away from me at all times. but anyway, so they all leave. They're all like, I'm done with this shit. Let's go back to the table. And they're like, okay. And then so everyone leaves, but except for Giorno. Right before Giorno leaves, the talking mouth grabs Larancho's knife and like cuts his hands. So he's bleeding from both his hands. And Giorno knows, he's like, oh shit, man, you're bleeding. Let me help you out with that. Let me stop bleeding. And so he's like, no, you can't come anywhere near me. He's thinking this internally because he can't obviously say this. But he says, sounds good. He says, sounds good, okay. And then he's like, what? And so, but now Giorno starts to pick up that there's something going on with Rancho. But he's like, we got some of that bleed. But he can't. So what Larancho does, calls up Little Bomber, has him blast the fuck out of this little like handle, pipe, whatever you want to call it, by the toilet. And where it starts to get super hot. And he legit presses his hands again and obviously cauterizing the wounds. And he's cauterizing the wounds. And so at that point he's like, oh, good. But then we find out that the pipe was leaking underneath. Then the shark comes out there and bites him right in the neck. And that is where the episode ends, on a cliffhanger, ladies and gentlemen. This episode's fucking awesome, man. The kicking meme finally made his debut, which was awesome. I love that. The episode was funny. The stuff with the Rancho was hilarious. That thing with that piss joke right there with the toilet was hilarious, man. And overall was fucking fantastic. Now let me talk about the ED real quick. Now I'm not going to dissect the ED because honestly there's really not much to dissect, at least from my perspective since I'm an anime. Maybe for you manga readers, you guys might have noticed like 10 things and you might have like, oh you fool, this ED is amazing if you actually look down with the statues and everything. But I gotta say, I fucks with this song. Like, I find it kind of weird that we went from fucking R&B with, you know, that, I wanna freak you, that's a fucking music right there, to some more, I guess, I don't know, hip-hop, disco type music, you know. It's called, the song itself is called Modern Crusaders, and man, this might low-key be my favorite JoJo ED, like, right before this one, I would say it was the one for part 4. I forget what the song was, what the title was, but I really dug that song. With this one, this one might actually top it. This song was fucking high. I literally, right after I was finished watching the episode, I was going downstairs to make sure it was turned off, because I was going back, because it was like 2:30 in the morning, remember? You know, speaking of which, I completely forgot to mention this, but guys, I have excellent news. Paranoia Agent is going to air on Toonami next week. I'm legit thinking about doing a whole story review that's probably legit going to be like 2 minutes. Just talk about Paranoia Agent. The dude was like, Paranoia Agent is going to be on Toonami. So I might do that, I'm not sure. I might do that later today. But yeah, man. So I'm hyped for that. Paranoia Agent. This is a show I've been definitely looking forward to watching. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I love singing some Satoshi Kon. Love Perfect Blue, so this should be hype. So anyway. So yeah, man. So overall, I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. See you guys later. Now, please enjoy my kicking meme.
Huh? The hell are you doing, you spindly little shit?
What the...
You think I'm gonna let you get away with this? This stain is gonna cost you! My suit cost 4 million lira, pal! Now I'm gonna make you pay!
So you're our next foe.
What?
Don't hear you denying
You
it.
trying to start trouble?
Take that, Katsune, and one of these.